It's just after 2 in the morning. And hundreds of people are climbing to a vantage point. Pre-dawn chill, they're waiting for the sun to rise over Mount Bromo, one of Indonesia's most famous active volcanoes. With the taller Mount Semeru puffing steam and gas behind it, Bromo's huge crater comes into clear view.
Pertama kali betul. Kesannya bagus ya, maksudnya bener-bener beda lah dari yang lain gitu kan.
It's an extraordinary sight few countries can offer.
It's not every day you can see a live active volcano, so it's one of the nearest from Singapore. Today is not what I expect because from the picture I'm expecting a lot of fog, but this morning there's no fog actually. Yeah, but of course there are a lot of people and the view is magnificent actually.
With more than 100 active volcanoes, Indonesia has built a tourism industry around them, drawing visitors from across the country and the world. Local guides like Junaidi make a living taking people up. And even though Mount Bromo is about as easy as it gets, some still struggle.
Setiap kali berdiri di sini rasanya mengingatkan kita, ya sepertilah luar biasa dan Bromo sangat aktif, very aktif, sangat aktif. Setahun bisa letusannya bisa beberapa kali, tapi memang untuk yang besar yang sangat mempengaruhi hampir 2-3 tahun terakhir lah.
Here at the crater, you can hear the energy, you can feel the force rising up from within the earth. And scientists who monitor this volcano are adamant that we wouldn't be allowed anywhere near it if there was a risk of an eruption.
Selalu mengawasi gerakan-gerakan vulkanik di dalam itu. Soalnya hitungan mereka a second, tap. Nah, perubahannya itu sangat cepat sekali.
But not everywhere is as regulated as Mount Bromo. University student Bima Pratama Nazra was among 75 hikers on Mount Marapi in Sumatra when it suddenly erupted in early December.
Bima memutuskan mendaki Merapi itu karena keinginan, karena melihat Merapi itu indah gitu dari atas, Bang.
For years, local authorities had banned hikers going within 3 kilometres of the crater. But it wasn't enforced.
Kayak pertama erupsi itu jadi gunung tuh mengeluarkan batuk, Bang. Batuk 2 kali, langsung 2 kali. Pas gunung tuh batuk, teman yang bernama Irfanda langsung ngasih aba-aba untuk buat lari, Bang. Jadi dikasih aba-aba, kami pun lari, Bang. Lari nggak sampai 1 menit, langsung kayak gemuruh, Bang, hujan batu. Langsung hujan batu, gemuruh hujan batu. Itu pun hujan batu tuh lama, Bang. Batu pun besar-besar, Bang. Udah kayak sebesar kepala-kepala kami lah, Bang. Kepala Bima, besar palu itu jatuh.
His friend, Randy Effendi, took Bima down the mountain to safety.
Bima.
24 others, mostly young students, higher up the mountain, weren't so lucky. Despite his ordeal, Bima says he would be willing to try to climb volcanoes again.
Udah, Bang, karena setiap perjalanan kayak setiap kemana aja kita pasti risikonya berbahaya, apalagi itu gunung aktif kan, Bang.
What I think that people thinking about tourism in volcanoes should know is that the risk of an eruption in an active volcano is never going to be zero.
Volcanoes are a tourist draw card around the world. Iceland's volcanoes regularly attract big crowds. And it's not just Indonesia where things can go horribly wrong. In 2019, 22 people, mostly tourists, died after a volcanic eruption on White Island in New Zealand. Canberra-based volcanologist Dr. Ana Casas Ramos has travelled the world to study the fire and fury of volcanoes.
It's a very overwhelming feeling. I therefore understand why people are keen to climb or hike volcanoes, because once you're, on the top, you can. I think the feeling that you get is very humbling. It's very overwhelming. You see nature in a way that is hard to describe, quite frankly.
She says with so many volcanoes, Indonesia's scientific monitoring is well regarded, but enforcement of climbing bans can be an issue.
Either people are perhaps too used to the volcanic activity that they, pretty much neglect that risk or underestimate it, or there have been disasters where a volcano hasn't erupted in, let's say, hundreds of years. So there's no way that they can have that notion of risk.
While the tragedy has put the dangers of volcanoes back in the spotlight, anecdotally it hasn't dimmed the desire for people to climb them. Back on Mount Bromo, tour guide Junaidi says from all around the world, the tourists keep coming.
Sama sekali tidak berkurang, bertambah, semakin padat. Informasi terakhir di akhir tahun sama awal tahun. Nah, itu antisipasi kita sebagai guide bagaimana untuk mengamankan tamu-tamu kita agar tetap kembali selamat.